your GM gets fired and your playoff hopes are hanging on by dental floss, is that a normal week in the NHL now? Asking for like 12 teams. All right, Mother Puckers, welcome back to another episode of the Pucked Up Podcast. I am your host, Danger, and I am joined, as always, by my sister from another mister, D, and the super spoonable, Chris. And Mal, I still haven't come up with anything other than, sorry, your team's out of the playoffs.
That's such a low blow to start the episode.
It's fine. After 10 years, we might as well miss one of them.
We've got a full lineup for you tonight. Some news, some chaos. What else is new? Another firing, some playoff panic, a couple of stories that'll make you shake your head so hard you might enter concussion protocol. So settle in, grab the beverage of your choice, and join us as we get started. As always, we like to kick things off with a little brain teaser to warm up the hockey muscles. Speaking of which, Chris, hit the mother puckers in the audience with this week's trivia question, if you will.
Absolutely. So last week we talked about one Randy Holt of the LA Kings, who set the record for most penalty minutes in a game. On March 5th, 2004, a game between the Senators and the Flyers set the record for most penalty minutes in a game by a team. How many penalty minutes was it? 213, 224, 185, or 270?
By one team.
Ooh. By one team.
Okay.
This game set multiple records, but the one we're going to talk about is the most penalty minutes set in a single game by one team.
I think I may know this one.
All right.
Okay. And 2004 isn't that far either. So, like, you think that was, 22 years ago? That's a fairly recent record.
Stop saying things like that, Chris. That is so mean.
Oh my God!
To point out how long ago 2004 was.
That's me,
I'm
Mr. Selfish,
offended.
Understanding how fucking time works.
Well, yeah, but that's
so
also
offensive.
the year I graduated high school, so let's not go there.
2004.
Yeah, dude, come on. Some of us were in elementary school then.
Oh my God,
I'm
Mom.
gonna shoot.
That's the second thing I'm gonna punch you in the face
myself in the
for.
foot, so that I don't have to be a part
You're
of this
at 2, buddy.
anymore.
I was. Oh wait, I was going into middle school.
I hate it here. Well, everyone is chewing on that trivia question. Let's slide over to the PWHLD. Bring us up to speed, especially with that latest.
Unfortunately, we do have some sad news coming out of Ottawa right now. They announced that head coach Carla McLeod will be stepping away from the team for an undetermined amount of time as she continues her treatment. As you may remember, we shared with you in November that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer and wanted everyone to know that she was going to be okay, she was in good spirits, and that she was focusing on her health and recovery. Unfortunately, due to that, she is needing to take some more time to pursue those treatments. The organization said that they fully support her and her family, and they ask that her privacy be respected. During this time, Haley Irwin will assume the role of interim head coach, effective immediately. She has been an assistant to McLeod since day one, and she stepped in for one game on December 2nd against Minnesota when McLeod started her treatment. General Manager Mike Hirschfield will be available to media later today to talk about it. I don't see that there has been any update, but I'll check again really quick. Again, they're asking for privacy and for everyone to just kind of keep it to themselves. We don't need speculation as to what any of this means, what her diagnosis is up to. We can just let her deal with it and hopefully get back stronger and better than ever soon. So that is the update there. And then also there was just a note from the Department of Player Safety, or the Player Safety Committee, I'm sorry, PSC, that Emmy Fecteau has been suspended for one game. New York Sirens forward Emmy Fecteau has been suspended after an incident on Saturday night game against the Seattle Torrent. So that was that Madison Square Garden game we talked about. Fecteau was assessed a major penalty in a game misconduct for an illegal check to the head at 17:48 of the first period. It was determined that the head was not the main point of contact. She delivered a dangerous body check with no intent to play the puck when she had ample opportunity to do so, and a sufficient force that warrants supplemental discipline. She violated Rule 52, which is body checking. This is the first incident that she has faced in her career, and I think that this is the right call. Again, anything that is to the head, they should be calling, and I will say, to give it to them, they're keeping true to their word on that. So,
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
obviously sending all the positive vibes, coach.
Yeah.
Like, get better. Just get well soon. We did talk about it on the weekend whistle, but what do you guys think of the league selling out MSG to sell out the world's most famous arena? Like,
which their New York's men's teams don't do routinely. Yeah.
yeah, the fucking Rangers can't even sell out MSG right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's incredible. I think that it's all the more reason why we saw someone from the powers that be within the PWHL say that there's going to be an announcement later this week. Of course, they couldn't do it today because they can never do it on Tuesday in time for
tomorrow.
recording. It'll be literally
emergency
tomorrow.
podcast.
But they did announce that they should have news about an expansion happening soon. So we might see more teams. We just incorporated the last two here recently, but I think we're going to see some more coming up quick.
I think
and
we
I think
see
it's
4.
thanks to selling out MSG. Like, I think that they're jumping on the hype of that train. Clearly, the fans fucking want it.
I think we see 4 new teams. I know they talked about 2 to 4. I think they just go 4 because you might as well. You have every single
Captive
NHL
audience.
market is fucking screaming for a team.
Yeah.
There are 32 NHL markets.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
league has shown that they can handle 12 teams, I think. Let it
I think
ride
so.
for a couple years.
Get some more games in too. I think we see a longer season. I think if they do go with more teams, we do see a longer season coming in.
You almost have to.
You have to.
at that point.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Which by default means more money for the players.
correct.
Yeah. True.
We love the ladies getting paid.
Just by default, you add 2 more teams, you add more games, you get more money.
Hey,
We love
WNBA.
that.
Look what happens when your fan base isn't fucking toxic.
Hey.
Did I say that out loud?
True.
I think
You
you
could
might
say it
have.
louder.
My state just lost their fucking team because the WNBA was shady as shit. So the WNBA can suck my dick. We just lost this
enough.
Connecticut Sun after 20 plus years. So yeah, what happens
That's
when you have a
that's
good
tough.
fan base and the league the men's league supports it? PWHL. Because the men are here championing the women as much as fucking anyone.
Absolutely.
So we love that.
Right.
Yeah, they love it. And it's awesome. Well, my team here, time to dig into some of the big stories swirling around the league this week. We've got a little bit of everything, from some front office drama to playoff races tightening up. In a particular fan situation that, we'll get there. So, Chris, let's talk about what's going on in New Jersey.
Well, you want to talk about who's not having a great Monday? That would be one Tom Fitzgerald, who this morning was fired as general manager and vice president of hockey operations from the New Jersey Devils. Fitzgerald's been with the team since 2015. When he started as assistant GM, obviously worked his way up, worked his way through. But obviously we have seen how god awful that franchise has been the past couple seasons. When asked this morning Devils managing partner David Blitzer said, Tom and I have had a thoughtful conversation today and agreed it was time to move in a new direction. Tom changed the trajectory of this team, including setting a franchise record for points in a season and helping make New Jersey a hockey destination. He is a well-respected leader across the Devils organization and the NHL, and I am grateful for our friendship. I wish Tom and his family the best. As we prepare to move forward, it is important that I acknowledge our fans. I recognize we have not delivered in a way you expect and deserve, and I understand and share in your frustration. This is a critical offseason for our franchise. We will explore all avenues that best position the Devils to compete for a Stanley Cup once again. Since Fitzgerald took over as GM, the Devils are 218, 204, and 39. I don't know if you guys can do the math, but when you add up the losses and overtime losses, that's a lot more than wins.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year for the Devils. This makes a lot of sense. I don't think this is necessarily a coaching issue. The Devils have been relatively quiet in the off season in the past couple of years and or the deadline. I don't feel like they addressed enough issues. And you've got a Hughes brothers problem where if they're going to suck this much, how long do you think Heishier stays? How long does Luke stay? How long does Jack stay? Jacob Markstrom left a shit situation in Calgary to come here, and now he's in another shit situation in net. So it's like, I think this is a deeper issue than just changing the coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen a lot of that, and I think what's the one thing we talk about doesn't happen enough? Changes from the top. And no disrespect to Fitz, he's done a lot for the NHL. He's done a lot for the Devils organization, but sometimes a change of personnel can help a team going forward. So I don't think this is a bad move. They're 7th in the Metro. They're what? So it's second time in 3 seasons they've missed the playoffs after being a team we all thought could have been a cup contender a couple years ago. So, yeah, this is a sad day for Tom Fitzgerald, but I think this is a happy day for the New Jersey Devils organization and fans.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair.
I agree. Maul, you've got the latest playoff picture. What's going on there, and who's kind of freaking the flip out right now?
So we have 7 teams with guaranteed playoff spots, and 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that have officially been eliminated. The teams that are in guaranteed playoff spots right now, to no surprise, we have the Colorado Avalanche, the Carolina Hurricanes, and I'm doing these in order of overall total points, from the best team currently in the NHL to the worst team. So we have the Colorado Avalanche, followed by the Carolina Hurricanes, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Dallas Stars, the Buffalo Sabres, the Montreal Canadiens, and the Minnesota Wild are the only 7 teams that have guaranteed a playoff spot. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins, Boston Bruins, Ottawa Senators, Philadelphia Flyers, New York Islanders, Detroit Red Wings, Columbus Blue Jackets, Edmonton Oilers, and the Anaheim Ducks, all very close to getting their Covenant X within the next week and a half. The teams that have been eliminated, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Florida Panthers, the New York Rangers, the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Vancouver Canucks. Currently, right now, if the playoffs were to start today, in round 1, we would have the Avalanche versus the Kings, the Stars versus the Wild, the Oilers versus the Mammoths, the Ducks versus the Golden Knights. On the eastern side, we would have the Flyers versus the Penguins, Ottawa versus Carolina, the Canadiens versus the Buffalo Sabres, the Bruins versus the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Awesome.
It is still so insane to me that like so many teams could be in the Pacific Division right now in a ranked spot.
Yeah.
If they weren't on the East Coast.
Yep, literally.
Yeah.
One of the
Just
things
single-
and
It's
that's
pathetic.
the crazy thing is like just how
Pathetic.
hard it is over there.
Yeah.
Chris and I did talk about how hilarious it would be with the Eastern side of the playoff board right now. There is a chance
hmm
that in round 2 of the playoff games, we are going to get the heated rivalry matchup.
It's entirely
True.
possible. It is.
And
It
we
is a
talked about
possibility.
that if that happens, all 7
That's
games,
true.
because it's going to go to 7, because they're going to want to make money on this. The Canadians and the Bruins need to capitalize on this shit with merch.
Oh, they for sure
Yeah,
will.
the league needs to jump on this shit. Both organizations need to jump on this shit.
Yeah.
Like, you
And
gotta
these,
capitalize.
and these will 100% be better viewed games than probably the Stanley Cup.
We'll see
Right,
heated
yeah.
rivalry puck drops for sure.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
both the boys
Every
will both be
cast
there
member.
for sure.
Mhm.
No chance they won't.
With their team's jerseys on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is a goddamn shame that the Wild, the Stars, and the Avalanche will all have to meet each other within the first 2 rounds, because those, in my
I wish that was
opinion,
a
are the
little spread
3.
out.
Yeah, those are the 3
Mhm.
best teams in the Western Conference, and I hate that one of them has to lose first round.
Yep. Agreed.
Because I think those 3 teams could run the fucking gauntlet in the Western Conference without question. They would all easily put themselves. Those are 3 teams that I think are legit cup contenders, and I don't think there's a snowball chance in hell that any team coming out of the Pacific's got a shot.
Yeah.
Right.
I just hate that they have to play each other
potentially
so
could be
quickly.
the year that we break the curse, because it looks like the Avalanche are going to almost guaranteed at this point secure the President's Trophy.
And yeah, and they have just as good a chance as any of those 3 teams in the fucking Central to do it. So
all I'm saying is, boys, don't touch the trophy.
Yeah.
And Nazem Kadri, you were there when they won the cup last time. You got away from the fucking Flames. You got back. Try it again.
Don't touch the
trophy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Also, first round, a Pennsylvania showdown. That's awesome. Philly and
cool.
Pittsburgh. That's fucking cool.
I don't know how I feel about
Pennsylvania showdown is awesome.
Well, at least the teams are going to be which is going to be crazy, because that's not a lot of travel distance. So they're going to be well rested for round 2, because Carolina, Ottawa, that's a little bit of a distance and a different country.
Depends. The Flyers are going to beat the fuck out of each other. That's going
to be a bloodbath, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the answer for today's trivia question is, we might see that get changed here at the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Well, how ironic, the Flyers were involved.
I'm surprised we didn't see it at the beginning of the season when we got the Battle of Florida for the last game of the playoffs.
They did beat the shit out. I know.
They did beat the shit out of each other.
The last game of the preseason, which was like 381 minutes of penalties between the 2 teams.
They need to try harder, is what they need to do.
Fair enough. D, let's close out the segment with what's going on in Dallas and this so-called fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the bummer here, as I typically, that is my role, is to bring the episode down.
It's either you or me.
It's true. That is fair. It is always between us. So recently, let's see. This all started on December 21st. Okay. This is a long time coming. And I understand that investigations take a minute, but like, Jesus, golly.
Right.
I should say the incident happened on December 21st. It was amplified on social media last week because people brought the clip back to life. It's a 12-second clip of a quote unquote fan. I don't believe that they are a fan in the stands who got a group of people. One fan is a ticket holder, but brought a group of people with him, and they all decided to do a Nazi salute in the stands repeatedly. I'm not going to say alleged. The news article does, but I think it's pretty clear that's what that was.
Right.
So, so they had their investigation. Again, this happened in December. but this fan has been banned from the American Airlines Center, so completely
so.
not able to attend any events, not just National Hockey League events. A spokesperson said, "We identified and spoke with the individual that purchased the tickets and will be banning the individual indefinitely from American Airlines Center. Additionally, we are increasing in-arena messaging regarding the fan code of conduct and how our fans can report violations, along with prioritizing staff training to identify and handle situations that arise. Any type of discriminatory or hateful behavior will not be tolerated and has no place in our arena. Creating and sustaining environments that are inclusive, safe, and respectful is non-negotiable for the Dallas Stars." The airline center said in a statement last week that they have a zero tolerance policy for acts of hate or discrimination, and that the team was fully aligned with the arena statement and working with the facility to find out what happened. So again, very, very glad that they ended on the right side of this. I do think that it likely this individual was doing this because he thought he was going to get attention. And
4 people were doing it.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, 4 people were doing it because they wanted the attention, and they didn't get it in December. So I'm actually quite honestly shocked that we haven't heard of more incidents since then. But they did the right thing. It's really sad that the initial event went relatively unnoticed back in December, that it wasn't addressed properly by staff. I'm glad that they're now getting the training to be on the lookout for those kinds of things, because again, you need to make it a safe space for everyone, and that cannot happen if incidents like this occur. It does feel like they took a bit of time. Again, these aired last week. They started making the rounds on social media. Again, I understand the importance of investigation, but I don't think you need to really investigate that much when the 12-second clip was everywhere. You could see what happened in it, and it is not a mistakable act, right? Like, it wasn't, these 4 guys did this so intentionally that it wasn't like, sometimes you accidentally give somebody the middle finger, right? Like, it happens.
Right.
You're going up to adjust your glasses and it freeze frames you in a really uncomfortable spot, right? Not a big deal. This was an intentional act, and we knew that from when we saw the video. So it's kind of disappointing it took this long, but at the same time, it was the right outcome to ban them. They said indefinitely. I guess they're leaving space for him to redeem himself. I hope that the other attendees who are not the ticket holders also are unwelcome in the arena. They did not say anything further on that in this article, because again, it was this one individual who was basically identified to be the ringleader of sorts.
Yeah.
And so that's why he faced the harshest punishment.
Now, I will say on the staff side, having worked events like this in larger events, staff aren't typically trained to look out for stuff like this because there's so much that they have to do.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying that these 4 individuals were also in the nosebleeds. They were in like the back of the arena.
Right.
No one is going to see them, and the salute happened. Well, the repeat of the salute, because they didn't hold it, it was a repeated thing.
Right.
Happened during a goal.
Yeah.
So there's so much stuff going on that as
they got
someone
away with
who's
it, or they
worked
thought
an
they got away
event,
with it.
you're not paying attention to what people are doing with their hands. You're looking out for 10 other things. You know what I mean? So again, not saying that they shouldn't keep an eye out, but with where they were probably positioned in the arena to where the fans
was
were,
hard
based
for
on
them
what
to
you can see in the
see.
video, and people celebrating and stuff like that, you would never in a million years see that. You would have a better luck finding fucking Waldo at a
But I do
Waldo
think
convention.
I think that that's a great perspective to add, though, Mal, because you are right. Like, that is not something, nobody's job in that arena is to stand there and watch for hateful gestures. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, there is someone typically, or many people in an arena like that, they have a command center, which is where they have all of the monitors with all of the cameras. It is their job to be kind of looking out for more stuff like that. And we've had situations where, like at the Chicago Bears, I believe it was this past season, had a fan throw a beer at another fan, and they immediately radioed from the command center to the security staff to go intervene with that. So boots on the ground, that's not what you're paying attention to. It's the command center. And
Mhm.
if they can't see it, then they either have bad cameras, not enough staff that are reviewing the cameras at all times, or it
Mhm.
could be something that they looked over. So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
just
I
my
think-
perspective because I've worked at venues and large events like this
you
that I kind
currently
of have
work
that.
security, so like so for you, you'd have a good
And
insight.
I worked football security for the U of M way back
Oh,
when
okay, yeah,
they first got the new stadium. And yeah, I mean, that's a dry stadium, so we were more on the lookout for like people sneaking booze in, like,
right.
you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I worked the student section, but like it's so crowded at that point. Maul hit it right on the head. You can't see everything all at once, you know.
Right.
I do think, though, I'm really glad that they said they're going to bring more training on things like this to
Yeah.
staff, because I absolutely do think that if command didn't see it, there could have been a moment where they're so high up. Did anyone else see it? They've stopped doing it now. Do we make this into a situation? What is protocol here? Because if it's not normally a part of training, including it in is a really good idea.
Well,
And
so
refreshing that training every, whatever seasonally you want to do
Right.
that is a good idea.
something they
Yeah,
could do that they
absolutely.
do at the TD Garden is the TD Garden at all times is always showing a number that you can text fan complaints to.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
So
smart.
at TD Garden, they
Yeah.
have a banner, they
Yeah.
have a
Yeah,
broadcast
the
go
Wands
out that
have that
says
too.
it goes out, I think, once a quarter, once a period, depending on the event that they have there. Or it'll go like in between bands at concerts and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
And they'll have a banner that goes around that says text this number for fan complaints. And all you have to do is text the complaint in your section and they'll come investigate it.
Right.
Good. I'm
So
glad you mentioned
the
that,
Wands.
because I'm sure that probably is a thing there, but I'm sure that there's a lot of people that don't know that is a service that they can and should be using. Are there,
Yeah.
like, rather than you being the one to be like, hey, don't do that, blah, 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 just text them and have actual proper people come and handle it.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't if you see stuff like this, don't get involved because
Yeah.
you're just gonna escalate the situation. Let
Mhm.
people who are trained to handle it take care of
Handle
it.
it.
Because like
Yeah.
again, we would go in, remove the individuals before they even really know what's going on, get
Right.
them to a place, usually the concourse, and that's when we'd have the conversation with them of like, in a more private setting where they can't hurt others and it's easy to drag them out,
And where
Yeah.
they're not disturbing the rest of the fans' experience, right? Because if
Exactly.
it becomes a shouting match on the concourse while action is happening on the ice, not a big deal.
And trying to
Right.
drag someone out of the 300 section of a stadium or the 500 section, depending on, if it's Gillette Stadium, that's not fun. And you don't want to drag someone down 14 flights of stairs kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
You don't
Right.
have to. Yeah.
You
I
don't
just-
want to do
Well,
it.
I think
and things
overall
like
it's
this,
just
and I
sad.
don't know if it's the same where you're at mall, but like something like this, we would have had our supervisors or the police just go up and deal with it. Like that's not something at the level I was at. I would have necessarily handled myself. I was also 19 when I worked there.
Right.
Like, well, no, I was 22.
Yeah. So my
So-
capacity
So-
within the security company that I work for is I am a supervisor, so I would be the one to
Yeah,
handle
so
it. And
Yeah.
typically, if it's inside the venue, we try to handle it. We try to like figure out what's going on, and because at the end of the day, the point's not to ruin a fan's experience. It's to just be like, hey, smarten the hell up.
Right.
Right.
Let's relocate you or do something like that.
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
do dumb
typically try to
shit,
get the
like-
police involved unless it's
Like a
unless they like
physical
hit
assault.
us
Yeah.
or stuff like
Yeah.
that. Most of the time, we just try to get them outside the venue because at most venues and arenas and stadiums, once they're outside the doors, they're not your problem anymore, and you can just shut and
Mm.
lock the door and not have to deal with it. And they typically cool off and walk away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's just sad at 2026. This is something we're still dealing with. Like
Mhm.
the fact that 4 adults thought that this was funny. It's not funny. It's not funny
Yeah.
at all. And y'all are adults and you should know better. This is middle school kid fucking behavior and you're acting like children. So
Yep.
you're now to be treated like children. There's a saying
You're in
that
timeout.
everybody knows is called fuck around and find out. And y'all found out what happens when you do stupid shit. Like
Mhm.
it's just
Yeah.
it's unacceptable in any way, shape, or form to do that, to know what that means and the history that holds, it's fucking unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
And if you weren't doing it because you thought it was funny, haha, and you were like really serious because you are, I mean, let's all face it, there is a resurgence of that mentality currently happening in our world, then get fucked. Like, we don't want you in this space anyway. So goodbye forever.
Yep.
Hockey is for
It's the best of
everyone
fun.
unless you're a piece of shit. Hockey is not for you.
Yeah.
Right.
I will be curious if they do interview the people and ask why. I'm kind of more curious on that aspect of it, of like, you know, because like, did they think that they were doing something different? You know, and again, not justifying the behavior, but like
To get into the psychology of it,
yeah. Because like
don't-
I know like there's certain things that fans do that are different for every fandom, you know, like I know fans that do the chop and stuff like
the
that.
tomahawking.
Yeah, you know, I know fans that like will do a bunch of wild other crazy things, especially if your team gets a goal or your team doesn't get a goal. Like there's ways to rile each other up.
But that's
and it's like,
so
did they
different though, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yes,
so
yes,
like,
but I'm
there's
more
never been
curious
a time where
on-
I thought to do a Nazi salute because my team scored a goal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the psychology of it is, and I am kind of curious as to what they were thinking.
right.
If they thought it was acceptable.
I haven't seen any reports of these people speaking out since, and again, it's 4 guys, and actually it might have been more than 4 because there's another guy in frame. You can only see 4 hands, but it looks like his hand is up, so it might have been 5.
Yeah.
But
It's just not cool, man.
None of them have named them publicly, and they are, to me, them not coming out and being like, "Hey, whoa, hey, I wasn't doing that at all. Like, it was actually something different," means that they were doing that, and that they don't want to be publicly named and shamed, so they're keeping it quiet.
No, 100%. That's what that feels like. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a sad situation, man. It's just
Yeah.
it's
It really
it's
is.
bad.
It's
not cool.
Should have never happened. Like it. People are dumb.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now time for one of our, spiciest segments, even though that conversation wasn't really spicy, but we definitely had our opinions. But for offside opinions, Maul, I'm going to give you the ice here. Just try not to get us fined, please.
So I feel like up until 2 weeks ago, we were doing so very, very good with the lack of coaching staff and general managers getting fired. But in the last 2 weeks, what the hell has happened to the NHL where they're firing general managers, playoff coaches? 2 playoff contending teams had their coaches fired.
Mm-hmm.
One team had their general manager fired and the assistant manager fired, but not the coach, and they got eliminated.
Yeah.
Yep.
The hell's going on? So my offside opinion this week is I don't think firing your coach before you go to the playoffs is a smart idea, and I hope those teams get egg on their face because of it.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you and I talked at length on this during recording, before we even started recording a Weekend Whistle. I don't think the Patrick Waugh firing is going to solve the problem. Because think about this, right? Did they move up a lot of spots last year? Yes. When it comes to the draft, the Islanders got lucky. They moved up a very large gap to get a player like Matthew Schaefer. If anything, looking at this team this year, they are miles ahead of anything I think the 4 of us thought they would be this year. They're a playoff contending team.
They're a point out of wild card.
Yeah, like
They're actually
not to say that there isn't personnel issues and things that can be changed. Goaltending has been a very sore spot this season. Last week, Ilya Sorokin gave up 14 goals and lost 4 games in net. That's your starter. He makes $8.25 million a year. That's a big fuck up. There
He
are
played almost
some
every
issues there.
single game too.
But
Like,
that's not.
the
But that's not
entirety.
Patrick Waugh's fault. That his goaltending is not producing the way they should. In Vegas, yes, Vegas is down compared to the last few years. You're going to tell me Bruce Cassidy deserved to be fired? That team's third in the Pacific. Granted, yes, they're not dominating the division like they normally do. But who the fuck are we to just be like, no, by the way, we're going to bring in a guy who hasn't made the playoffs in a long time and is notably a terrible coach for players. Oh, but he's going to solve the problem. If the Ducks don't walk through him in the first round, I'll be shocked.
Here's the thing that I'm very concerned about as well is both of those teams still at Vegas very much in third place right now in the Pacific. I see no reason for them to drop out of the race entirely. Still could happen. I just don't foresee it happening. Islanders, like I said, they're a point out of the wild card spot. They could walk themselves into the playoffs this year. Totally reasonable. I don't think that it is ever smart to change your coach weeks outside of playoffs because that is never going to give your team time to gel. Now they're gelled absolutely as a unit, possibly. It might be that maybe your firing is because they're not gelling as a unit, but there's no world in which they're going to be able to come together under that pressure that quickly. Like it's not realistic. So you're shooting yourself in the foot for this season. Your playoff odds are going to be your playoff odds. You know what I mean? Right. If they had kept Bruce in Vegas, they still might have gotten pretty far. They did get to at least the second round last year. So who's to say that couldn't happen again?
Years ago?
Yeah. So why are we changing that up and bringing an unknown entity to these players? Some of them have, they know of the reputation of Torts. I don't remember who is filling in for Patrick Waugh now, but
Peter DeBoer, which no disrespect to Peter DeBoer. The last three seasons he was the coach from 2022 to 2025 for the Stars. They made the conference finals all 3 seasons.
Their reasoning too, I saw they were like, well, he was available and we just can't pass that up. And it's like that's kind of really disrespectful to Patrick Waugh, by the way, to be like, no.
Who was doing a fine job. And I think last week we talked about it. The big thing, you're 2 weeks out, a week out from the playoffs. You're going to change a team that's in the playoffs. You're going to change their whole coaching scheme right before the postseason. It doesn't make any fucking sense. The GM firings have been 2 teams that have abysmal years. I can see that. Don't have an issue with that. I agree that I'm shocked Craig Berube has his job. I think they're waiting until the summer. But yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, the GMs I'm less concerned about because they can't do anything right now anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Like we're
past trade deadline. You can sign people, but that's about it.
Right. And we're getting close to the end of the season where they are going to be the person going in and selecting their draft picks, whatever. So absolutely I can see a trade happening there, not a big deal. But a coach, as a coach, as someone who is currently coaching a staff, if I were just to be eliminated from the team a week before playoffs, imagine that. My girls would, I'm not going to say that they would fall apart, but I am going to say that they would be so confused and it would absolutely impact their play. It doesn't matter if it was fucking Charlotte North that came in, right? Phenomenal.
As amazing as she is, that's a coaching
there's no trust
change
there. Yes.
Right.
You have to have trust. That is a huge component of that dynamic. You know what I mean? Yeah. Player to coach. There's a trust built there. And you just eliminated that.
And entirely.
Yes,
the last 10 games have not gone well for the Islanders. But you are 1 point out of third in the Metro.
Yeah.
Do you think just firing Patrick Waugh and bringing in Peter DeBoer is going to fix your team being fucking awful? They've had a shit couple weeks. That happens. But I don't see a world where firing Patrick Waugh was the right answer. Because if they miss the playoffs, what are you going to do now? Well, it was Waugh's fault. No, you're bringing in Peter DeBoer and you're changing a coaching scheme with 5 games left in the season. And now your team's out of the playoffs. Was it worth it?
Yeah. Fucking hope so.
Because I genuinely now hope that Bruce Cassidy goes somewhere else. And next season, I hope that they beat the fucking Golden Knights in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And just
same.
he crotch chopping on the motherfuckers DX style the whole way. Same with Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh was again, yes, there are flaws in Long Island. We know this. This is something we've covered all season. But I don't think coaching was the problem here.
No.
No. No.
Which doesn't make any sense.
No. I fully agree with you guys. I think y'all hit it right on the head. Because now is just not the time to do it.
No. That would be imagine if the Wild, because they are third in the Central, fired their coach. What sense would that make? You know?
I would punch somebody in the dick.
Because they're not locked in. All right, there's a bunch of teams that aren't locked in right now.
Well, now we are, so it's not an issue. But or imagine if the fucking the Atlantic leading Tampa Bay Lightning. Imagine if the Lightning fired John Cooper. Oh, well, this team could have done better. Really?
No, the Avalanche.
You know who could fire
Avalanche
their coach?
Firing Jared Bednar. Like,
you know who could fire their coach right now and be like, yeah, Panthers, how do you go back-to-back Stanley Cup champs and then get fucking eliminated?
Well,
you're
you
the
lose,
second
like,
worst
you don't even
team in
make
the
playoffs
fucking
anymore.
second worst team in the Eastern Conference. You're only
Well,
2 points
you
better
lose
than the
half your
fucking
team in the
Rangers.
friggin' preseason. That's how you do it.
I'm just
much.
saying, if we see a firing there, I'm 0% surprised. Because even with losing players, this was a piss poor showing from them this year.
God, yeah. And what did they do all season? All they did was bully people and start problems. And it's like,
minutes.
all right, so you're just going to be fucking douchebags because y'all aren't going to make the playoffs? They have a goal differential at negative 32. Where the fuck is Sergei Bobrovsky?
Yeah.
Out to dinner.
He's clearly somewhere else. He's mentally on the golf course, and he's been there all fucking season. Like, it's just, yeah. The NHL is in a weird spot. And obviously, we've covered all year. There's a lot of teams you don't expect. Look at the Sabres. Look at the Ducks. Look at the Utah Mammoth. Like, a lot of teams that you don't expect. But, again, Buffalo brought back a coach that was a part of their success in the mid 2000s, late like 2010s, and a guy Lindy Ruff is trusted, and it worked out. But and coaching changes that also worked out. The Penguins' new coach this year worked out. Didn't work out for Mike Sullivan in his first season in the Rangers, but it's like those were off-season moves that were made, and you had a whole year to deal with it. You're going to tell me that John Tortorella is going to lead the fucking Vegas Golden Knights to a cup with like 2 weeks of being the team's coach?
He won the first game as a coach, so
and also
you played nobody. Congrats.
I think we oftentimes put an unfair burden on the coach to fix the universe's problems.
Correct.
When the Rangers' problems isn't Sullivan going in there.
No, that's a whole lot of other problems.
Yeah, it is. There is a systemic issue in the New York Rangers Association.
Correct.
Like that is, it is. And same with the Islanders. We've been talking about how shit their fucking management is for years too. Like
that's
you were blaming this on a coach.
Happened.
Yeah, you're blaming this on the coach, and that is ridiculous. I think Vegas is starting to head in towards that territory too of there is some systemic stuff happening within Vegas Golden Knights as an administration that is impacting play on the ice. And you're going to fire a coach? Okay. Blame everybody it's not. You know, that seems to be a popular method of dealing with shit.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, at what point do we just look internally and go, maybe it's me? Because last season, there was like no fucking shot that the Islanders would have even been worth a goddamn. They had 82 points last season. 82 points last season. Where are they sitting right now? 89. It's a similar steady look, but at least right now, they're a playoff team or a wild card contending team. Obviously, the wild card's not going to matter because they're 1 point out sitting here from their own division, but they're actually they've got a fighting chance this season where last year they didn't. And
Yeah.
firing Patrick Waugh, it just fucks that whole situation up.
Insane, y'all.
Yeah.
Insane.
Let us know in the comments, though. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's next on the chopping
Fire-
block? Because someone else is going to get fired, or 3 others, I bet.
Oh, it's
Can I
coming.
just say, I really hope it's not my coach because I feel like people are going to be like, Spencer Carberry needs to go. Washington isn't performing.
This wasn't his fault this year.
This
Y'all
wasn't
just
his
had
fault
a rough
this year.
season.
Yeah, don't blame him. He's a nice man.
It happens. It happens.
Sure.
What are you gonna do?
All right. Well, on that note, let's change the subject, shall we? So we've got some bank account bruises and then some other bumps and bruises to talk about here. So talking about fines first, there are no new suspensions. But fines on April 2nd, Brady Tkachuk got fined $2,500 for unsportsmanlike conduct against Breck Malenstein. Sure. From the Ottawa Senators. Brady's with the Ottawa Senators, of course. Shame, but no surprise. Like, I saw that and I was like, ugh, I'm not shocked.
Yeah, with all the other people that have gotten fines from sitting on the bench and then grabbing at an active player on the ice, you had to know that was coming, Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
and it's
gonna
Brady,
get you every time.
Yeah, every time.
Every time.
On April 5th, I'm going to butcher this name, but A2 Luostarinen from the Florida Panthers got fined $5,000 for high-sticking Ricard Raquel.
I'm gonna Chris's face.
Shame.
One of my favorite players. Yeah, Losterainen deserves that fine because he hit him right in the fucking face. And
I
Yeah.
couldn't
was
find a
pretty
video of it
obvious.
anywhere.
I had to actually go into the fucking game rewind and find it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jeez
Yeah.
Louise.
But yeah,
And then this one happened way back on March 24th, but just got assigned the fine.
Mhm.
But
Matt Vane Mitchkov.
Thank you. From the Philadelphia Flyers, got fined $2,000 for diving and embellishment citation. Total for the season for fines, is that right? Is $235,978.30 to the Players Assistance Fund.
I'm curious where that lines up from last year.
What do you mean?
I could figure
Like
it out.
what the difference is. That's something I can figure out next week.
Yeah. I just cleared out all of I had last year's Wikipedia page saved last year,
Did
and
ya?
I just cleared them out like last week.
That's I am curious of like what the difference is in fines
Yeah.
compared to last year. I felt like everyone got fined
Yeah.
last year though.
We had a lot of fines last year.
I think we were past like 1 million at some point during the season.
Oh yeah,
We
For
had
sure.
to be. We had to be.
by the end we definitely were.
1.8 million in total.
Damn. So we're not even close.
No, we're still
And that was
we
just
are a ton
fines.
of fines left in the season. In comparison to last year, there was 362,205 total fines. So we're still $130,000 off of where we were last year at this
That's
point in time.
right.
So there are
Fucking
definitely
crazy.
less.
Yeah,
That's
the 1.8
crazy.
million is from fines and suspensions.
Yeah.
Damn. That's nuts.
There was also
Wow,
way
so-
more in suspensions last year. The total was as of the end of the season. So granted, there's still some time left here, but last season it was 3.822 million
Jesus
forfeited
Christ.
salary wise for suspensions. And we're only at 1.167.
And you know what's the
Well,
crazy
'cause-
thing about that? The biggest contributor to the salary penalty from that last year was Aaron Ekblad when he was suspended for 20 games.
I was gonna say Ekblad got nailed
Well,
because of Yeah, because
$1.8 million.
The funny thing too is there were only 98 games regular season, or I'm sorry, 98 games total. So that is pre-regular and postseason
Mhm.
that were assigned. This year we're at 167.
We've had more play.
There's
We've had more
161 regular season suspension, like suspended, and there was only 84 last year. So we have doubled it, and yet we are half of the salary. So it's people who are like not the all-stars who are committing the
I
penalties.
think what Maul said, yeah, with Aaron Ekblad, who makes a lot of
Yeah.
money.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't
Everyone's
that crazy?
kind of behaved a little better this year, except for the guys getting suspended, but lower salary guys are getting suspended apparently.
Mm-hmm. The biggest one was Carter Hart, and he forfeited $395,000, and
But
he's
you know
already
what,
back.
though?
So.
I feel like it should be the lower guys getting the suspensions and fines because they're still trying to make their way and make a name for
Toward
themselves.
the top
When
six,
you
yeah.
get a top dollar contract, like you should A, know better, and B, only do something stupid like when you need to do something stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You shouldn't
Like
have
the
the Kochuk
other-
brothers getting
you know?
fucking fined every 5 seconds.
The second highest was Valery Nikushkin, and we all know
Oh
what he
yeah,
did.
that's yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
forfeited
Valeri.
$1.339 million.
Hey, why don't you fuck your team over again this this postseason? You're good at
Hey,
that.
there's still time. There's time
Yeah,
on the
there is
clock.
time for him to end up in a fucking hotel room with a prostitute again.
And withhold her
Jesus.
passport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
So, Chris, my beautiful friend, now is time for one of my personal favorites, our Obscure Player of the Week. Who
Well.
are we digging up from the hockey archives today?
Well, folks, it is time for us to talk about the random of the random, the people you thought you've heard of but you don't know. It is the Obscure NHL Player of the Week. There it was. That's because anyone hitting it? Oh, we got multiple ducks. Our player today
I
is
was waiting for you to finish your long held note there.
Hey, I hit it and it was
You had
good.
You had breath for days, buddy.
I
Your breath
did. I'm a
support.
singer, bro. Singers have great lung capacity. Take that information how you will. Our player today is a man by the name of Mike Peluso, born September 2nd, 1974 in Bismarck, North Dakota. He was 253rd overall in the 1994 draft by the Calgary Flames. Danger, you'll like this. He graduated from the University of Minnesota Duluth, playing all 4 years in college there. He didn't have an extensive career in the show. 38 games. All but one coming with the Chicago Blackhawks. That one game was with the Philadelphia Flyers in the 2003-2004 season, tying everything together.
I'm sensing a theme.
In 38 games, he had 2 goals, 4 assists, 19 penalty minutes. But he did have quite the extensive career in the AHL, playing extensive. I don't know what word that was that tried to come out. Where he played with the Portland Pirates for 3 seasons, the Worcester Wildcats, the Norfolk Admirals. I know I have to say that a certain way with people from Virginia because they get mad if I say Norfolk. But
It's
those are the
Norfolk.
people that I get mad at when they try to when they do butcher Worcester. And the Philadelphia Panthers. I don't believe any of these teams exist anymore, except for maybe the
Admirals
Admirals.
are still there. Yep.
Yeah, they're a different franchise though.
Yes, they are. But they still
none
exist.
None of these AHL teams exist anymore. The 335 career games in the AHL saw 116 goals, 126 assists, 257 penalty minutes. 33 games in the playoffs, 6 assists, 7 goals. I read that backwards. And 12 penalty minutes. He represented the United States in the Ice Hockey World Championships in 2000, where in 7 games played, he had 2 goals, 2 assists. He was also a 4-time AHL All-Star, and he was inducted into the University of Minnesota Duluth's Hall of Fame in 2016. He retired in 2004, went on to do some coaching in the college level. So shout out to Mike Luce Peluso, who's our obscure NHL player of the week.
Nice.
Thank you very much for that. Before we, completely wrap things up, let's, circle back Chris again and close that loop on the trivia question. Can you tell it to us one more time, though, first, please?
Well, since you said please, Danger, absolutely.
Well, thank you.
On March 5th, 2004, in a game between the Ottawa Senators and the Philadelphia Flyers, there was a record set for most penalty minutes in a single game by a team. How many penalty minutes was it? 213, 224, 185, or 270?
I'm saying 224.
Okay.
D, don't
Damn, that's
steal
what I
my
was gonna
shit.
say. Yeah, I know.
fucking
Fuck.
knew
So I'm
it.
gonna go 270 because Mole and I can't be on the
Okay.
same one anymore. It's illegal.
Danger?
I was gonna say 270 as well, but I don't mind matching with D.
Fair enough.
You're going to go
It's
270?
just Mole and I. We can't
Yeah.
match.
Okay. So,
Both
against
sides
the
of the
rules.
magnet.
Yeah.
in that game, which ended 5-3 for a win for the Ottawa Senators, the Philadelphia Flyers became and still hold this record, the most penalized team in a single game with 213 penalty minutes.
Damn, none of us were right.
This
It was
game
so
also
close, though.
set a record for most combined penalty minutes between two teams at 419. This game featured 20 ejections and 21 fighting majors.
So we should
Damn.
watch this game next week.
Yeah.
I want to find this game. If I
It's gotta
can
be out there.
find this game, we
gotta be
will
out there.
absolutely fucking watch this.
It's got to be out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
If you have a
obviously,
copy or a link to it, let us know.
Yeah.
please.
Tag it.
Yes, please.
Please let
Holla
us
at your
know.
girl.
Obviously, we talked about Randy Holt last week, who in a single period was assessed a minor 2 majors and 2 10-minute game misconducts and 3 game misconducts, making him the most penalized. But you think that was 35, 40 years prior to this just chaos? I mean, you want to live up to a team that was once nicknamed the Broad Street Bullies for a reason. The
That's true.
2004 Philadelphia Flyers were fucking menaces. 213. So think about, that's crazy. That combined almost 420 minutes.
That's crazy.
That's what, 206 minutes just for the fucking
Yeah.
Senators?
I'm trying to do the math. Yeah. It's like they weren't far behind that record at all. One
No,
more punch and they would have been
Yeah,
same.
yeah. One more coach calling someone a cocksucker away.
Dude,
Right.
that is
Looking at
almost
you, you
7
absolute legend.
times
You know who you are.
longer. The total penalties is almost 7 times longer than the actual amount of time played in the game.
Yeah,
Correct.
right.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Isn't
Shit.
that fucking,
You guys
isn't
are
that
all
fucking
banned for the
crazy?
next 7 games.
Yeah, right.
Make
Bro.
up for it.
Bro,
Fucking
hockey is
wild.
crazy
That's
sometimes.
insane.
What is insane sport we
213.
watch?
I wanted to put a really high number because I was like, honestly, if I'm saying this is the record, you guys are just going to be like, no, it's probably like the real high one.
Yeah.
213.
Which I
that's
would
nuts.
have gone with the middle one and then Maul took it, so
Maul.
Yeah. Damn Maul. Just kidding.
You son of a bitch.
you dick.
Well, thank you for that. That's, I think, gonna do it for this episode. Huge thanks to my crew, that's here.
Yeah.
Yes, you're mine for this episode because I hosted. Deal with it. Huge thanks also to all of you mother puckers for hanging out with us once again. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, yell at us online respectfully. Send us your hottest takes. We certainly love all of it. And always, we will see you next time in the Face Off Circle.